Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Excuse me. This is not my regular tipper. This one does not feel right. My regular tipper stayed in Calgary with my bags last night. So hold on a second here. I'm just checking on something because they have apparently found my bags and will deliver them as soon as possible. If that's tonight, that's great. If it's tomorrow, I'm supposed to be at work. So I haven't really seen you guys in a long time. So I did not plan a usual live stream for tonight. I figured I would tell you guys all about my Alberta tour with the band. We were there for 10 days-ish, I think. Fabulous time. We fly standby to make this tour, whatever Untapped is, to make it pay, which creates stress at the start and end of every single time we do it. You know what? Let's see who's hanging with us. And of course, I do have to say the housekeeping stuff to start with, right? So that's hey there, friendly. Welcome to the 20th of August episode of my fantabulous live stream. If you are listening to us time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next month or whatevs, thanks for hanging with us even after the fact. Thanks for dropping comments in the doobly-doo. And just warming the cockles of my heart. If at any point tonight you kind of love what's going on, then I invite you to hit that smiley thumb. If at any point tonight you're like, this sucks, that's fine. That frowny thumb works just as well. Excuse me. And if you're interested in helping to keep the lights on around here, as several in the side chat already have, I pointed to the wrong direction because of the mirroring. Then I invite you to investigate the join button. I think is there. There you right click on it and open a new tab. You'll see that there are 2 tiers of membership as well as what each tier gets you. All right. Now let's see who's hanging with us. Of course, the sinuses are not doing great because that's just the way of it. First one was Country Boy. Finally got the first like. I love it. Country Boy, by the way, is both a channel hero and a channel mod. So if you're rude, he'll put the hammer on you, but in a great heroic way. Hey, look who's hanging, Mr. Fox. How you doing? And we got Peanut Trucker. Chris, how's it going? Everyone's just being so nice. We got Off-Grid Recon in the people. What? Sorry, he's saying hello, people. He'll be around in a bit. Okay, speak to you a little later. Hey, people are just saying hi to each other. Hey, there's Jennifer. How you doing tonight? I saw some cool pics from you guys on the Facebooks. If you know, you know, right? Burning up down there in Kingman, Arizona. Yeah, it's got to be like living on the surface of the sun right now. Oh, there's me. I just want to realize that my YouTube page is not muted. There we go. Doesn't really matter. I couldn't hear it anyway. Yes, how is everyone doing? Asked Jennifer. And I asked the same question. I myself will probably not make it all the way to 11. Let me tell you. I am bushed. More on that a little bit later. We got Grace hanging. How's it going, Grace? Feels like I haven't seen you guys in forever, even though we did that wild and woolly live stream last week. Yeah, Country Boys, I stay the hell out of Arizona in the summer. Yeah. The camera was a little mad at me. That's true. I had to be nice to it to get it to cooperate. Good old tea. So I bought whiskey while I was out there, but it's in the luggage that got left in Calgary. So Mark Davidson in the house. Mark is a channel hero. Nice to see you. I hope the weather is great with you. You're probably being rained on just like I am right now, actually. Everyone just saying hi and being great, being nice, being fabulous. I'm just going to Shawnee hears me. That's fantabulous. How are you doing, Shawnee? Destiny popping in to say hi to everyone. Destiny, who is, as you can see, a channel hero. Go away. If you can hear meowing behind me, it's because one of my sister-in-laws left her cat here while she went to Cuba. My girls are out of town right now. They're all in with cousins in New York City. So when I came home, the cat had been alone for like 2 or 3 days because another sister came to hang with her once or twice. So she's very needy, but she ain't jumping up on me, okay? And there's Canadian. Better late than never. That, yep. God knows I've been late for my live stream several times. So no judgment. Scott, how you doing? You guys see that tail? Oh, it just right there. You see that tail? That's the brat. Destiny says she's listening while she makes a snack, and come on back. Talk loud. Okay, I'll talk as loud as I can. There we go. There's David Evans. He is a channel hero and a channel mod. So just as with my other channel mods and heroes, he'll drop the hammer on you if you're not nice, but he'll do it in a heroic fashion. Sound of trumpets, Disney Marvel Universe, whatever music. Where is Christy? She'll be here. She's probably already here. I'm probably late on the chat already. It's just everyone's just sort of saying hi to everyone. So, yeah. Destiny's asking how is it was the Alberta tour. Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. Right up until the point I like. I'm not going to make it to 11. There's no way. I'm way too tired. I got to bed at 3:45 this morning, and I had to work. So, yeah. Scott's got a question. I planted a hasta at the park for Jazzy. What can I put to keep the critters and bugs away? Cliff is gonna drop some knowledge on you, I think. His gardening knowledge, his gardening foo is stronger than mine. We found grubs in our garden. Like, we have grubs in the grass, but we found a couple in the garden. Apparently, if you have ants, they go after the grubs, but we don't want the ants eating away at our stuff anyway. And by the way, like, I before I went to Alberta, I chased a squirrel up a tree with one of my peppers in its mouth. So I'm dealing with all kinds of stuff. Oh, oops. Didn't think hastas were prone to critters. What Shawnee says is cayenne pepper powder. That is what you can use to keep squirrels away as well. But yeah, cayenne is good for all kinds of little critters. I didn't know. Like, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know how many critters it'll keep away, but I know it's good for some stuff. There's Backcountry Tripper. How's it going? How you doing? So yeah, let's tell you guys about the trip. By the way, Backcountry Tripper, have I just not seen you in a long time, or is this? I feel like it's been a minute, or maybe you haven't been here before. In either way, welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy tonight's festivities, even though they're going to be a little more raggedy than they usually are. Although last week's stream was rock and roll. And it was weird how as soon as I do, like, anytime I do a stream vertical, it's like letting in the clowns in some ways. So it's good that you guys sort of mentioned that the vertical ones attract the clowns, because maybe I won't do those as often as I'd like to. Even though I bought this phone for the 5G so that I could live stream with it, outside. But if I'm gonna get trolled, I don't have that much patience. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys like it when I do those raggedy vertical streams? Does that tickle your fancy in any way? Mm. Deer eat hostas. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna keep deer away with cayenne powder. Well, maybe you will. I don't know. Like, I've also read that you can keep squirrels away from your peppers and stuff by putting coffee grounds. Apparently, they hate the smell of coffee. You guys, tea? Yeah, I had some brilliant new bottles of scotch to show you guys, but they never made it home, or they will make it home when the airline brings my baggage. That should be fine, Scott. Destiny says last week's live was fun and different. There was like no control. There was no control. Yeah, garlic tea, sure. You can also make like a tobacco tea for certain baddies as well. Nematodes. Okay, I'll tell you something about nematodes. Hi, Dixie Rec, by the way. I've been trying to get nematodes because I spray them in my lawn to keep the grubs away or to kill them dead or whatever. But no one's got them around here this year. I usually pick them up at Reno Depot or Rona or like Home Depot or I even tried Canadian Tire this year. Nothing. Does anyone know what happened with all the nematodes? Like, how come I can't find any? Oh yeah, diatomaceous earth. Make sure it's food grade. Absolutely. I could. I don't know where it is. The gardening book that I edited. I have no idea where it is. Deers love Pam's geraniums. That is the truth. Joshi Crady Silva. Good evening to you as well. I hope you're doing fine. Welcome to the stream. Oh, you're gonna make me blush. Different is good. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, look who's here. Russell is in the house. Oh, you've been working too much. Yeah, that sucks, especially with your screen name. I'm sure that working too much can be hard on the soul. You getting any time to get out into the woods or the backcountry? Gonna make me get all red. Where was I saying? Oh yeah, hey, there's Marcus. How you doing? How you doing? I don't know why that keeps swapping in my head. That's from Friends, I think we've established, right? So yeah, I wanted to tell you guys about the trip. Heading out there was interesting. So I sort of mentioned, by the way, hey, look who else is here. By the way, Christy, you're late. What's up with that? You're hurting my feelings. Christy's also a channel hero, as you can see. Oh no, you had 3 canceled trips because people canceled on you. Stinks. Okay, everyone's just started saying hi to each other. Yeah, that's frustrating. I don't like that at all. The only trip I got to do was I took my kids camping this summer, but I love seeing their faces in the woods. You know, I mean, Cody's getting a little 13. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's 13 now, and she's kind of showing, but she still likes it being out in the woods and going to the lakeside and stuff. And I mean, Clemence is she's 5, right? So everything she lives is right there on her face, and she's just like enchanted by everything. So I mean, it was kind of glamping, right? We used the tent. Oh, I need to replace that tent now. In a setback, whatever, national park kind of thing. But it was woods time. It was fun. Oh, I did a really dumb little live stream from there too. Was it a members only? And I got rained out. You guys remember that? Anyway, so the day before, yeah, I'm working. the afternoon before the day we were supposed to leave. We were supposed to leave on the Friday. I don't know what dates are at this point. Let me check. Okay, so I was supposed to fly to Calgary after work. Well, I took the day off at like 5-ish on Friday the 9th. Thing is, like around the 7th, 6th, well, that week or something, there was a massive hailstorm in Calgary, and around Calgary, um, like big honking balls, and the airline I was flying with, they were down 16 jets because of that. They've only got like 145 or 150 or something. By the way, I'm not going to mention the airline I took, and those of you who do know, don't, please, because I did fly buddy passes, and I do not want the person who buddied me the passes to get in trouble over anything I say. So I'm not mentioning the airline. Those of you who know, please do not. Anyways, but, I mean, there's nothing about what I'm saying right now. But they were down 16 planes, so we essentially had to panic pack and get our asses to the air, like get our flight changed to the Thursday, which made the missus very happy. Let me tell you. Ran to the airport because what had happened was the flight we were supposed to take got canceled. The one after it was full. The one before it still had like 2 places left in the standby. Well, there were 2 seats left. So my guitarist and I ran to the airport. Got there. We were waiting because when you're flying standby, you don't know if you're getting on the plane until like the last group to go. And this flight was going to be a 2-parter. Fly from Montreal to Edmonton, land in Edmonton at like whatever, midnight, sleep there. Midnight? Yeah, land around midnight, sleep there, and our the next flight was like 9:15 the next morning. So, we flew, we landed, and the only 2 seats that were left for us were in this airline's version of first class, which I've never been in before, and it was phenomenal. Like, we got real food in like real plates, and they gave us whiskey, and we didn't have to pay for it, and the seats were big, and I slept like a baby, and I wish all flights could be like that. But the next flight we took was not like that. It was just a typical, flight. But I mean, Edmonton to Calgary is like what, 45 minutes, so who cares? Sleeping in the airport's tough though. It's kind of tough. And so that got us into Calgary. We unpacked our stuff. I had rented a base in Calgary, so I didn't have to bring mine because mine is like $70 each way kind of thing. But I was packing and leaving for the airport, and I was on the phone with the store that I had called like a week and a half earlier and said, yeah, we don't have one in Calgary, but we're getting 1 shift here from Edmonton. Still wasn't there. I said, can you guarantee me a base when I get there? He said, no. I said, do you have a 5-string anything on the wall that you can rent me to hold me over? The guy said, no. So I said, oh, okay, cancel it. I'm just bringing my base. So I did. I bit the bullet, and I paid, and I brought it. And there's value to that. There's value in playing an instrument you've been playing for 15 years because you know it. It knows you. It's a very personal thing, right? It feels like a pair of slippers that you've worn forever kind of thing. Like you know it. And so bright side is I got to play, my Fender. I just want to make sure I'm not ignoring anyone. Like, has anyone joined since I started? Blah, 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 blah. Hold on. Shawnee says, I need a new tent. Let's go tent shopping. No. Well, actually, I don't have any booze, so we can go tent shopping. I'll just window shop. Except I'm using Mac OS. I have to use the other computer, so I want to Windows shop. God, shut up, Jesse. Anyway. Tripper says, "I decided to go solo camping now once the fire bans are done." Yep, I think that is great. I would love to go solo camping again this year. Yeah, I'm making up for lost time with my kids for sure. I did get to go camping with my parents a few times, and especially as like a teenager, with my dad and my sister, we'd go once every summer. We'd go to like Golden Ears or Manning Park was probably my favorite. Hard to get to compared to Golden Ears though. Um, Man, I just love being in the woods, love being on a lake, love being in a canoe. I know what my midlife crisis is going to be. I knew I could get it out if I just kept trying. I'm gonna have like a $5,000 canoe and a week to myself. That's my crisis. That's my midlife crisis. It's a whole lot less money than a Ferrari and an 18-year-old. Um, oh yeah, Grace, you remember that? Oh, that was amazing. And she didn't even say it to me. She said it to Camille. I'm gonna be sad when neither of my kids are at that stage in life where they just live everything right on the surface. I mean, Cody's way past it now, and I wish she could get some of that back. Because there's a happiness that comes with living that stage of life as well, right? Like nothing gets bottled up. When you're angry, oh, storm clouds in your face, but then it's gone. Heat is back for the weekend. Oh, you're headed to Tobermory. I've only been there once, and in fact, we were staying at an Airbnb about 10 minutes outside of town, just on like this little inlet onto Lake Huron. Great place, fabulous. In fact, I did one or two videos from that place a few years ago. I don't remember what I called it. Canoeing with Cody or canoeing with the girl or some damn thing. Shawnee says 20 miles per hour flattened the tent and the fiberglass pole snapped. He splintered it with 2 stakes and duct tape for the remaining trip, but kind of want to replace the tent now. Yeah, I'm replacing mine as well because there's a massive hole that allowed a massive spider in, and it's a hole that I can't patch. I did not tell the kids about the hole. I told them to keep the damn door closed, zipped, because I didn't want them to spend the rest of the trip sleeping in the car. So I'm just making sure, okay, everyone's talking. You guys don't need me there. This is the reason you dread traveling. I, in some ways, it hurts my soul to give the airlines money, but, I like going places, and we've got some fans out in Alberta now. If we stop going, then there's a segment of our fandom that we can't really give to in the same way. Hold on a second. David says that the ATV oil leak is back. Do you know what's going on? Is it something you can? Well, you're saying you need to take it in to get fixed, so I guess it's beyond your. Oh, Golden Ears is a shift show now. That's too bad. It was great back in the 80s. If I could float on a boat in the Great Lakes and not get run over by a freight ship, I'd do it. Off-grid and offland, Destiny says. My biggest thing with the Great Lakes is I wouldn't want to be there if a sudden storm goes snap. I'm just making sure that okay. So I'm caught back up. So where was I? Hold on. Well, my guitarist got his bag back. I made him go to the airport for it. So I guess they're gonna call me to go to the airport too. So where was I? Yeah. Okay. So, our first gig was I don't know what you guys are talking about, but anyways, our first gig was for it was a charity gig for a women's an organization in Calgary that's set up to help women who are like single moms leaving abusive relationships or like all kinds of women in rough spots, just sort of get them on their feet, get them give them train them for jobs, or retrain them, help them with financial planning, with diapers, like everything that a single mom needs when she's suddenly the only caregiver to her kids or her babies. I'm always up for a gig like that. It was at a polo club though. I'm talking like fascinators as far as the eye could see. I'm talking about people who were twice as fancy as me on their bad days. So that was fun. Watched the polo. It was okay. Played the gig, went brilliantly. Had some tasty beverages. Not some of the tasties were not free though. I mean, it was a charity gig, right? They're not gonna. But they did let us have as much beer as we wanted, but we drink a lot less than we used to while playing because 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we had a couple of really sloppy nights because we drank too much while playing. So we keep an eye on it. Anyway, so that was good. That was in Okotoks. I don't know. Some of you are Albertans. You'll know the places I'm talking about. The rest of you are going to be like me and like, I don't know, Okotoks is a drive. Ponoka is a drive. So we also did on the Tuesday. I don't remember. The Monday, I think it was. Yeah. Then so that was on the Sunday. The Monday, we did a house concert in Ponoka that we do every time we go out there. This is our last time doing it because they've sold the house. Great, friendly audience. Like most of them have been coming to see us for years. We've been going to do that festival for like a decade now. Oh, I forgot to take the comment off. Again, went really well. So we do a cover of 500 Miles by is it the Proclaimers? Yeah, I would walk 500 miles. And instead of the na, 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 or whatever they say, we say shot of vodka. And by our second time around, a shot of vodka, everyone in that house had a bottle of hard liquor, and we're like glug and singing along. So that was the most epic reaction to the shot of vodka we've ever had. I actually got some pictures and videos this time, which I just haven't had time to do anything with because I literally just got home this morning. Anyways, that was great. After that, we sat in the hot tub as we always do, stared at the northern lights. Got up the next morning, tried to work using because since they just sold their house, they didn't have internet anymore. So we were like, what do you call it? Hot, using these to do our internet stuff. We finally gave up around lunchtime and ran to a cafe in town and used their internet. I bought many teas and a latte to make it worth their while. Hold on a second here. Polo is snooty. Yep, absolutely. What is our typical playlist for these events? Okay, so we're a Celtic rock band, I guess. Or a Celtic pop trio, or roots pop Celtic folk trio. I don't know. It's like we do a lot of fiddle tunes. We do some traditional stuff. But we also play a lot of things like Take On Me, Come On Eileen, Billie Jean, but like in a Celtic fiddly kind of context, I guess. Our version of 500 Miles can be anywhere between 10 and 15 minutes because there's a section in the middle that is just a segue from one song to another, whatever pops into the other guy's heads, and it can just go. We also do this one called Request Medley, which is every really dumb song anyone's ever requested of us. Not that the songs are dumb, but that someone's like, play Freebird, and we're like, it's an Irish pub. Play Britney. It's like, it's an Irish pub. So what we finally did was just strung all those dumb songs together into a 16-minute medley. We do that almost every year. like what else? Some Great Big Sea stuff, a little bit of Spirit of the West, some Blue Rodeo, of course. You know, all the Canadian, the Canadian signposts. No Rush. You need a drummer for Rush. I mean, I'm the drummer, but part time, right? So it's pretty eclectic. You do what's it called? Dixieland by is that Steve Earle? Galway Girl, Steve Earle, not Ed Sheeran. You know, stuff like that. Yeah, Marcus, we all had one or two of those. Yeah, but it's embarrassing when you're on stage. Off-Grid Recon is doing a trip with your wife to Calgary and Banff at the end of September. 4 days. Any must-see sites? If you're going to Banff, there's nothing that's going to beat that. Are you one who likes to buy alcohol? Oh, wait. Where do you live? Generally, a state or a province, not actual, postal code. Because I was going to say, when in Calgary, visit Kensington Wine Market. For God's sake, do yourself a favor. Marcus broke his Japanese lantern. Which one was that? The hell? Freebird is part of our Redonkulus medley. I don't even know what Lotto Home is. Play Tool. Oh, I'm not even going to mention that to the boys because they'll fit it in somewhere. A lot of our songs segue into other stuff, like from Folsom Prison. We segue into a verse of Pinball Wizard, and then back, stuff like that. We do a lot of segueing. And of course, we play Les Étoiles Filantes, and we play Pour un Instant, and some French stuff as well, because Quebec band. Susie likes our Take on Me better than the original. Is that one of the songs we have on YouTube, Susie? Is that where you've heard it, or was it from one of the little scrappy videos I shared at one point? Marcus says it didn't fall. The pecker, the pricker at the end of the cleaning rod was broken, and parts are not available. Made a whole one and screwed up the packing in the generator. Whoops. I don't know which lantern you're talking about. Oh, by the way, hi, Susie. You're in Oregon. Oh, they make some good booze down there too. But I don't know how many bottles you can take back across the border, but I would absolutely visit Kensington Wine Market if you're into like whiskey. They've also got a fabulous wine collection. But every year, for the festival at the end of our tour, we pick up a bottle at Kensington to a band bottle, but we share it with the other bands as well. Oops. Hold on. Next gig is next Friday. Next Friday night. Hi, Beto. How you doing? It's so good to be back here and doing this again. It feels like it's been forever. Oh, not a drinker, maybe 1 or 2 beers a month. I don't know what to do in Calgary. I know there's a polo club in Okotoks that you can do a what's it called, tailgate at. But like, I've never done anything visitor-y in Calgary because I'm always there to visit my fiddler because we're playing a gig here, playing a gig here, playing a gig there. We lost a gig because they tried to shift days on us, but it didn't work out for us. So it's a few $100 each that we didn't get from this trip. Damn you, Meow Meow. Where are you? Oh, she's lying on the carpet. Oh yeah, the chrome one with the red knobs. Oh, that's broken? Shite. That's too bad. That one was pretty. Oh yeah. Okay, so you saw it on the music channel. Actually, that's probably a good example where you can find some examples of what we do. I think we do Billie Jean on that as well. I would like to edit out the talking at the front of all of those, just because we were doing them as a charity for a couple of homeless shelters, but I would like to sort of chop them right to where the music starts. And as if anyone could grab that channel and post it, I think it's Squid Jigger Music or Squid Jigger Band. Yeah, we got to do a couple more of those. It was like what we did during the COVID times because we couldn't actually go anywhere to play. Everyone's saying hi to Beto. Beto. Apparently, Lena's Market in Calgary is delicious. Great Italian food, several locations. I might be able to get you a couple of locations for great restaurants. Okay, I just pinged my fiddler. I mean, he lives in Calgary. He and his wife live in Calgary. If they get me something during the span of this live stream, I'll post or something. Chris says, can you imagine all of us going to one of the shows and just screaming at random songs as they try to play? That would be funny. Okay, so on the Wednesday, whenever we go out and do this trip, we play the there's like a little band shell or a little pagoda in the middle of the city of Lacombe, and we played that Wednesday as part of their summer music program. It went brilliantly. Every time we play there, the crowd gets a little bigger. This time, the park was packed, which was nice. There was probably like 400 or 500 people there. Went well, but like our throats are getting a little ragged though, because that place is hazy from the wildfires right now, and that is garbage for singing through. So it was like we sort of, we're like getting all raspy and stuff. Yes, we do, Christy. We do Galway Girl. We do the not the Ed Sheeran version. The Steve Earle, is it? Am I getting that right, or am I just too tired? Yeah, and we do it fairly traditional. Like our version of Black Velvet Band has a reggae backbeat to it. Like not everything we do is a straight cover or a straight trad, right? The PS I Love You version. I do not know what version that is. I haven't seen that film in a long time. But yeah, so aside from that, next up was Friday, Saturday, Sunday was the festival out in the mountains. The festival is called the East Coast Kitchen Party because it's mostly Newfoundlanders, Newfoundland and Celtic bands, Newfie bands. Highlight of the year for us, not only because we get to play for a friendly audience and a whole lot of fans, but also just we get to pal around with all these great bands, like way bigger bands than us, some of them, and some are smaller bands than us. I mean, when you've been playing for 21 years, you're not necessarily a small band anymore, right? But yeah, I got to hang with some great bands on my other channel every year. Well, for the past, I guess, 3 or 4, I don't know, years. The guitarist from the Dorino Harvey band and I do a little whiskey tasting video, sitting on a picnic table in the trees. We did it again this year. It's usually like an Alberta whiskey that seen before or whatever. So I'll be getting that up on my other channel when I have time to edit. But yeah, great time. Loved it. There was also a very new band there, and by that I mean they were probably only together for about a week and a half. Hold on. Hold on. Oh, thank you, Country Boy. Hold on. I'm just gonna go back to because I'm trying to remember. It was before Beto. I'm looking for. I've forgotten which of you was asking about places to go in Calgary. Like, how could I have forgotten that? It just happened. It just bloody happened. I think it was Off Grid Recon, wasn't it? Off Grid, was it you who was asking about places to go in Calgary? My fiddler's asking if you're looking at if you want to see some outdoorsy stuff or more touristy stuff or what. I'm asking him about like maybe restaurants. Is there a kind of like would you be interested in restaurants? Yeah, Christy says it was Off Grid Recon. Yeah, okay, yeah. He says Off Grid Recon. If you're looking for a nice nature place in town, write this down. He would suggest Fish Creek Park for a nice outdoorsy place. David says, "Hey everybody, check out Cabin River Outdoors on YouTube. This guy's building a cabin deep in the BC interior. I do love me some BC." Cabin River Outdoors. Good work, David. I'm going to check it out. So yeah, the thing about being in the mountains with a bunch of Newfoundlanders is we all got well soaked with whiskey and beers and stuff. I am not at all tragified over the fact that I forgot to bring a beer here or a whiskey for my live stream because it was a big 3 days, and also because here's what happens, right? You're set every day is like an hour ish, but you're also obligated to play. There's like a pub night in this sort of outdoor, like it's a covered restaurant kind of thing with picnic tables, but it's open all around. You got to play the pub night on Friday and Saturday night from 10 to 2. And then there's usually, the bands all sort of get together for jam sessions in people's rooms or whatever after that. And, you go until about 4. On Saturday, they went until 5, but I did not. I went to bed at 3 because we were the first band on Sunday. Now, first band on Sunday when we first started doing this gig started at 9. In recent years, the first band on Sunday starts at 11:30, which is a lot easier to do. Let me tell you. Like these guys, A, Newfoundlanders. B, they're all either like oil field guys or Mounties. So like, these guys can drink, man. Anyway, so we passed around the bottle that we brought to the woods. Scott from Dorino Harvey and we did our video, like we each threw in half for the bottle that he surprised me with for our video, and then we shared that one around. Why bring it home? The joy of whiskey is sharing it with other people who love whiskey, Okay, so I got some stuff. Off grid. I'm gonna drop a couple of things in the side chat here. Okay. He says, Fish Creek Park for a little sort of nature. I blew the spelling on creek. For like a little nature walky kind of thing. You're right next to the mountains, so go to the mountains. I'm gonna write that. I mean, you're going to Banff, so you're gonna get some mountains. So glorious there. It's so damn beautiful. We played in Banff once. Stephen Avenue is a good stretch. What? Stephen Avenue is a good stretch for restaurants. Also, 17th Avenue Southwest. If you're into sort of the art scene, see if there's anything on at the Grand Theater or the Arts Commons. One of the best breakfasts is at Rain Dog Bar in Inglewood. No, that's not a breakfast place. It's at Queen's Breakfast Cocktails. One of the best bars to eat at. So I'm not entirely sure if you like to eat at a pub or whatever, but you don't have to drink the booze. Is Rain Dog Bar, also in Inglewood. Actually, Inglewood's a good place to just kick around and look for some cool little stuff. It's just a cool little neighborhood. And he says, rent a bike. Judge not my spelling and my typing, okay? Because I'm just trying to get some. And bike the river pathways. You can rent a bike near downtown on the river. All right. So is it going to let me post? Is that too long? Is it showing? Oh, it just split it into two. I saw this. Cheers. Words passed on. So there you go. Yeah, it didn't keep any of my line breaks. What? So yeah, anyways, I'm sad the mountains part of the gigs are over, because that's a great time. But that's that. So then we went back to Calgary. We brought like a crap ton of beer to pass around to other bands, but we didn't have a chance to distribute it this time around. We usually we're passing, bands are usually passing beers around, like constantly, but ours didn't get touched. I think it's because we didn't do jams in the rooms, because they had us spaced out with families and stuff this time. So if you're like blam until 4 a.m. and there are kids next door, it's tough. So we went to there's a fire pit next to the pub. Anyway, we also had some really good beer, like the stuff we bought for ourselves. There was like a coffee kelp stout that was so much better than that sounds. Well, anyways, so that's it. And then we came home, uh, and then our flight home on Monday night was overbooked, and so it didn't look like we were going to get on. In that case, you go to the airport anyway, and you try. And if you don't, then you say, okay, what about next mornings? And then you go home and you come back for that. So here's the thing. I like to get to the airport 2 hours early, no matter what, because something always happens. And I still hadn't bought anything for my kids. Um, we did not get there 2 hours early. We got there like an hour and a half early ish, maybe an hour and a quarter early, actually, because my fiddler and his wife, nothing ever happens to them. Everything just works. But my base is oversized baggage. And here's the thing: the airport in Calgary is garbage. Okay, it's got a lot of very high tech stuff, but it's just like the way they designed all that high tech stuff, or the way they put it together. It's like an engineer through the whole arrivals area together, rather than someone who actually does human interface, right? So I go to where we drop our bags, and I get sent to that line over there for because I've got an oversized, but that line over there isn't moving because there's a tour group from China. I think the China part is not part of this, but there's 100 people there using up two kiosks. There's two guys trying to play with the gate agent at another kiosk, and they only have 4 kiosks manned. There's like 12 kiosks, but only 4 of them are working. Um, so I wait and wait and wait, and I finally get through. And my guitarist, by the way, has dropped his bag, gotten his tags. He dropped into the high tech, and he's gone to security. Now, so I get my oversized bag tagged, but then I have to run it over to the oversized bag drop off, which is like a little conveyor thing. And I get there, and the guy ahead of me, like they opened his box, and it was, I don't know, some kind of portable lab setup or something. And then they sort of get it all back together, and then they're chit chatting, and I'm like pacing. And then that guy finally leaves, and the guard says, "Okay, you can put your." Is that a gun? I said, "No, it's a base. It just looks like a gun case." So I put it on. I mean, it's Alberta, right? Of course. Um, and we're waiting and waiting, and I'm like, and he says, "Oh, it takes 2 minutes for this machine to warm up." I'm like, because it's my flight starts boarding at 5:35, and it's 5:30. Yeah, 5:30, right? My flight stops boarding at 6. So I finally get through that, and I just boom, I run to security. And like every time I'm speaking to these to anyone, I'm like, my flight boards at 5:35. We're leaving at 6:15 kind of thing. And none of them are caring. Same thing in security. It's like, we're in this, line up, and I sort of say to one of the agents, "Hi, I'm boarding in 3 minutes." And the guy says, "That's fine, sir. Just stay in the line, please." I'm like, fuck. And it's just, and these two guys who were playing with the gate agent and like, is this bag too big for carry on? It's just like, just put it in the measuring thing. So these guys end up being right in front of me, emptying their stuff, and as slowly as you can. And I'm just throwing my stuff in the bins, whip out the laptop, whip out the CPAP. Everything's just like, go. And I get through fine, but these guys get through ahead of me, and they're standing there, and like their stuff comes, and instead of you're supposed to pick up your bin, take it over to the table, and pack there, they're just standing there while the other bins are sort of punk punk. And at this point, I'm just going nuts, just nuts, because my plane is boarding, and I've got 3 minutes. So finally, my stuff all arrives. I just stuff it all together and just beat for the gate, which fortunately was really close to security because I got there with 1 minute until the door closed. Got onto the plane, sat on the plane, because here's the thing: I was standing in the line for security, and my boarding pass went from standby to seat 20E, which means, okay, I'm on this plane, but I'm gonna miss the flight. So I was frustrated. And so I finally got on the plane, sat down next to my guitarist, fuming. The plane takes off late because they had a ground handling problem. And I now realize that the ground handling problem is that maybe they didn't have enough room for all the baggage, because we get to Montreal, we land at 12:30, head for baggage, wait until 2:30 for our bags, and then go over and fill out the um, electronic lost baggage form, because there's no one left at the airline's kiosk. We could line up at the taxis. I finally get home and just drop my stuff and crawl into bed at 3:45 this morning. So when the alarm went off at, like, there's no one in my house right now, so I don't have to get up early and make coffee and all that stuff. I'm working from home, and I was starting at 8:30, so I set my alarm for 8, you know? Uh, Missed it. Started work at 9. Whatevs. I worked late to make up for it. But, like, now I'm home. Happy to have slept in my own bed, even though it was a great trip. Pissed all the way to hell over my baggage. Because transporting that base cost me like $160 extra. And they didn't even put it on the damn plane, you know? But anyways, I'm not gonna diss the airline because I flew for a very affordable price because I used a buddy pass. You know? Hold on a second. Okay, those are just me telling off-grid where to go. Thing is, my fiddler, he's also saying on my on my textos that, like, he's not a big social guy, so he doesn't know all the, like, the really happening spots. But anyway, Country Boy, trust me, it's terrific. It's fat. Well, look, you gotta like stout first off, but like, I like coffee flavor. Like, I like a coffee note in beer in, like, a nice stout, and I love kelpy oceanic flavors. I'm just gonna see if I can find a picture of it. I mean, it's only sold in Alberta. Well, it might be sold in BC actually. Yes, it's called Sailor's Delight Coffee Kelp Stout. Let me just adjust the brightness upon this on this screen. Come on, focus. Sailor's Delight. It was fabulous. I'll tell you what though, a weekend of King Cans can really be hard on the stomach. Like, for sure. Yeah, sure we do. We have the Nexus thing. I think the same as you guys. I just don't have it. But, like, my wife was saying that we should get it because, I mean, New York City a couple of times a year, it's totally worth it. And because the Nexus Pass, there's something else as well that I think is Canada only, but um, that's a whole faster experience at an airport for sure. It's a whole process to apply for it. Like, you got to have a security background check done. I mean, I've had the mother of all security background checks due to my day job anyway, but it's just a drag. But every time I experience the Calgary airport, I think of, okay, how am I going to streamline this process next time? Because this airport is garbage. Country Boy, yeah, you might see it there. Like, I'm never going to see it here, but, like, a lot of Alberta beer ends up in BC and elsewise, and um, like Saskatchewan and stuff. Like, there's a whole Western beer scene. Yeah, yeah, I definitely think we're gonna do it. It's gonna be worth it. Absolutely. My fiddler is actually in Quebec City right now. So we arrived home this morning. He took a 7 a.m. flight to Quebec City. He says he's sitting in a restaurant in Quebec City, and a punk rock version of "Hey Ya" came on. We're gonna listen to that right after we're done here. Um, yeah. So I mean that's the trip. I really wish my bags were here, especially because I brought home 4 bags. 4 bags. I packed 4 bottles of whiskey. I bought 6. I packed 4, and I don't know if they all made it back in one piece. Right? I never know. And with all the luck I've had around baggage on this trip, I'm pretty sure I've lost at least 1 bottle. The bottle that I really hope I didn't lose is not for me. It's a bottle of, Barbancourt 15 rum that I bought for my wife because, we can't get it here, and she does love the Barbancourt. But anyways, I'm tired, guys. We're at 22:04. I think I'm gonna cut her short here because I'm dying here. I'm like, um, so yeah. Um, Next week I hope to be back on for the full time and in better condition and back to the stream as I like it to be, with the news and the readings and all that fun stuff. Um, so between now and then, everybody, please be safe, be sane, be healthy, and be kind to one another. See you next week, guys.